Hello and welcome to everyone in this our today's lecture. Now students, in our last lecture we have seen some applications of Coleridge law. In continuation with that, there are again some applications of Coleridge laws are there. So this is one of the application of the Coleridge law, measurement of conductivity. Now students, in our today's lecture we are going to discuss in detail about the conductivity of a solution and which can be determined by the measurement of resistance by using a bridge which we are calling it as a Wheatstone bridge. Now students, you have already seen that resistance is calculated by the Ohm's law, and students, by using that resistance value we can calculate the conductivity of a cell by using relation. Now students, look at this conductivity cell. First of all we will discuss about conductivity cell. This is the picture of conductivity cell. By the measurement of resistance we can calculate the conductivity. So directly conductivity we cannot be calculated, though experimentally we are going to dip this conductivity cell and we are getting values of it on digital multimeter. But students, behind that there is a one thing which we are calling it as a resistance. Means after measuring only resistance we can calculate the conductivity. So this is the arrangement of conductivity cell by which we can measure the conductivity of a unknown solution. Now students, the arrangement will be like this, and you will notice here one of the glass tube, and the solution for which we are going to calculate its conductivity is taken inside the beaker, and inside the glass tubing there is a arrangement of platinum plates. So these platinum plates are useful for the measurement of its resistance of corresponding solution. Now students, this is the arrangement of conductivity cell. It consists of a glass tube with two platinum plates coated with a thin layer of finely divided platinum black. This maintains the electrical contact between solution and the external connections. Now students, this is achieved by the electrolysis of solution of chloroplatinic acid. This is a very important thing that you have to keep in mind. The cell is dipped in a solution whose resistance is to be measured as shown in figure. Now students, the cell constant which we are going to calculate, which is calculated by using this relation, the conductivity of an electrolytic solution is given by this equation. K is equal to 1 upon R into L upon A. What does it means? Now students, L is nothing but the length of wire and A is the area of cross section of that plates which we have taken here, platinum plates. Now students, 1 upon R means what? The actual resistance of the solution. By using all these values we can determine the value of K. K is nothing but the conductivity of that unknown solution. Now students, for a given cell, the ratio of separation L between the two electrodes divided by the area of cross section A of the electrode is called the cell constant. That cell constant, first of all we have to calculate by this relation. Equation 5.13 will give us how to calculate the cell constant. Now students, after that we can put its value into the above equation, then you will get conductivity. Now students, the SI unit of cell constant is meter inverse, which is conveniently expressed in centimeter inverse. The equation 5.5 then becomes, means if you are going to put this value in the above equation, then you will get the K is equal to cell constant upon R. Suppose if you have said to this cell constant small b, then this equation becomes K is equal to B upon R. Now students, this equation we are calling it as the equation number 5.14. Now students, the determination of conductivity consists in 3 steps that now we are going to discuss here. First step is that determination of a cell constant. The cell constant is determined using 1 molar, 0.1 molar, 0.01 molar KCl solutions. The conductivity of KCl solution is well tabulated at various temperatures. That's why for the measurement of standard concentration solutions, for the determination of cell constant, the solution of perfect 1 molar, 0.1 molar and 0.01 molar standard solutions of KCl we have taken. The conductivity of KCl solution is well tabulated at various temperatures. So the solution of KCl we have chosen here. The resistance of KCl solution is measured by Wheatstone bridge. In physics textbook chapter number 9, in that chapter they have given the detailed information of this Wheatstone's bridge. Now students, here also we are going to in detail. In this figure 5.3 they have given the bridge for the measurement of resistance, that we are calling it as a Wheatstone's bridge. Now students, look at this figure. You will notice that a solution of unknown resistance that we have taken in one of the beaker, and we have dipped that conductivity cell in that solution. And students, if you look at this triangular arrangement of resistance, you will notice that this part is divided into 2 compartments. One of the compartment is having a resistance of unknown solution, means the 2 connections which are made or which are connected to the conductivity cell, and the another part is nothing but the length of resistance AC, wire AC. This is the one of the compartment, and the second compartment is that Rx, means the unknown resistance, and which is useful for the balancing the bridge. And students, the another part C to B, or we can say B to C, this part is consists of another compartment. Now this is the arrangement of all the Wheatstone's bridge. Now students, for the calculation of resistance we are using this arrangement. The conductivity cell consisting of KCl solution of unknown resistance is placed in the other arm of Wheatstone's bridge, and D is the current detector that you have seen in this figure. Now students, F is the sliding contact that moves along ABAC. Students, here the AB, what does it indicates? It indicates the variable resistance, or we can say at its plates we can also use the rheostat. And this AC represents the source of alternating current, means which we are going to provide or to balance the network. We are going to move this detector. Then after balancing this network, then we can, by taking the value of unknown resistance of that solution, we can calculate the conductivity. Now students, here according to the that sliding contact which we have moved along AB, until no current flows, the detector D shows no deflection, that is null point is thus obtained at C. Now students, whenever you have got the null deflection, then only you can say that the complete network or this bridge gets balanced. And after that students, you have to note down all these values, and according to the Wheatstone's bridge principle, we can use this relation R solution divided by length of AC, that I already told. This bridge is divided into 2 compartments. So the first compartment has R solution, means solution of means the solution for which we are going to determine its resistance, divided by the length of AC, and in another compartment, students, Rx is nothing but the unknown resistance which we have picked up divided by the length of BC. Now what which value we are going to determine in this equation is nothing but R solution. So convert or modify this equation into R solution, then students you will get this equation 5.15. So by measurement of length of AC and BC and knowing Rx, resistance of KCl solution can be calculated. Now students, the cell constant is given by this equation 5.13. Cell constant is equal to K of KCl, because we have used here the standard solution of KCl multiplied by resistance of that solution which we have taken for the measurement of its conductivity, that is its value R solution. By using this relation we can calculate the cell constant. Now students, the conductivity of KCl solution is known, the cell constant thus can be calculated. Means after that we can calculate the conductivity of the corresponding solution. Now students, determination of conductivity of a given solution. This is our next point which we are going to discuss here. KCl solution is in the conductivity cell in step 1 is replaced by the given solution whose conductivity is to be measured. So after that you will get those its resistance is measured by the process described in step 1. By using that process, the conductivity of a given solution is then calculated. So this is the method for the determination of conductivity of a given solution. Now students, after that we are going to the next point is nothing but the calculation of molar conductivity, that we already seen in our previous lecture. By knowing the values of K and C, we can calculate the lambda, and we have seen some problems which are based on this formula. Now students, with the help of that value of K, we can calculate the lambda also, that is molar conductivity. The molar conductivity of a given solution is then calculated by using this equation. And some problems which are based on the cell constant they have given here. For your practice you can just solve all these problems. These are the very simplest problems. All the data which is provided to you in this problem, that you have to take as a given and just put all these values, then you will get its corresponding answers. So students, this is all about in our today's lecture. In our next lecture we are going to discuss the electrochemical cells and different types of electrochemical reactions which are occurring in chemical reactions, that we are going to discuss. Thank you very much.